bottle.
I would see the penis in your
I don't know,
eyes.
but if you can't find that one, bring the pink one.
I would suck your penis.
I would suck your penis inside of mine.
If I could change the world. If I could change the world. I would put you in my ass and you'd live there.
I would put you inside of my fucking ass.
If I could change the world, I would make you tiny and put you in my ass. You could control me with a bunch of levers and make me move. It wouldn't be gay, I'd be some kind of robot.
It wouldn't be gay.
It wouldn't be gay.
I would be a robot, not a gay man.
I'd be some kind of big robot, or I'd be regular size and you'd be tiny. It wouldn't be gay, you'd have to control me with wires and buttons.
I would be some sort of mech or rogue Gundam.
I would be a Gundam and you would just live in my ass.
Yes.
And people ask me, you know, obviously this song is filled with symbolism, and you know, I'm always surprised because it's probably one of the most literal songs.
Right, yes. People ask me, Eric, what's the song about?
They're like, Eric, this was the second song you made after your son's unfortunate
one of the
death.
most literal songs I've ever written. It's quite frankly, if I could change the universe,
Tears in Heaven was about my son dying, but
I would make myself either very large, or I would select, you know, a pilot is my preferred, to live inside my ass.
Live inside my
And control me as if I were a giant robot.
Right.
wouldn't be
that's
changing
true.
much about the world.
It would be. That was
I have no idea
small
what a
man in
speaking
the
voice
ass.
sounds like.
I don't either.
Something like that.
Yeah.
He's pretty chill though. Cocaine.
Yeah.
He loved
That's
cocaine.
cool, dude. Yeah,
I
that's
remember listening to that song when I was like 12 and being like, hell yeah, dude, I love
Yeah.
cocaine.
Yeah, I could shrink you down and let you live inside my ass.
I'm not gay.
It's not gay.
It's not gay.
You could control me with a bunch of levers. Is, you know, they say that an artist should always diversify, but I always thought that the most interesting thing to me lyrically is exploring the same theme over and over again.
Right. Right.
Allowing
Right.
the instrumentation to change, because then you really challenge yourself.
Yep.
Because people are going to say, no matter what, the instant criticism is going to be, you've already covered this.
Yeah.
We know you want to be either a giant robot or have a partner of some sort that's shrunken down to live inside your ass.
Right.
To control you with wires and levers.
That's right.
we know this about you. Eric.
Everybody knows that.
We're familiar with this.
That's why Cream has to break up.
Yeah.
You keep talking about it.
When I was with the Yardbirds, I was always pushing for some kind of, you know, we'd do live shows, and this was before Tool, who I really credit with changing the live.
Oh, yeah, Tool.
I wanted to project a video of me as some kind of dying alien, you know, that's sick from doing too much meditation.
Right.
And Tool stole that idea. I said, well,
Really?
yes.
Seems
I
like you had
said,
kind of a jump on
I
Tool.
wanted to, yes. Initially,
Yeah, like
I had the
30
idea
years.
of spending an $80 million laser show setup where there's a pyramid and we go inside the pyramid. It's very similar to a man going inside another man's ass.
Right.
Correct.
If I asked several people, and they told me it was impossible to do with lasers, that the only thing that lasers could create was some kind of alien that's throwing up from doing too much yoga.
Right. Not,
Yeah, it's
not
an
a guy in
alien
another
who's-
guy's ass.
who's aligned his chakras to the extent that now he's dying in space prison.
It's too much. He's
Yeah.
too enlightened.
And they kicked me out of the band for that. And then,
Out of Tool.
yes, and
Eric Clapton was in Tool.
I had one interview with Tool. I was trying to be in Tool. And they stole my idea.
Well, that's so fucked.
So what are your,
I submitted a packet to Tool,
And
and I just saw my own bit there.
and then I had lunch with my best friend Paul McCartney. Probably. My very good friend
My
Paul.
best friend
Yeah,
Paul.
so- Paul.
The only guy I know, actually. And I told him, you know, I think where this went wrong, because this was the greatest tragedy in my life. Probably the worst thing that's ever happened to me was being rejected by Tool and then having them steal my idea for the sick alien.
It has to be painful.
Yes. And yeah, really nothing else rings a bell.
Can't really think about it.
My life's been pretty good.
Really?
I've had, yeah, it's been it's almost magical, really.
Right.
And I said to him, you know, I got to go back to the robot thing.
Do you know that?
I said
I need to get back to my roots.
This was all due to me departing from my original idea of solely pursuing one artistic expression my entire life, which is that I want to be, either a giant robot or a regular sized robot with a friend who lives inside my ass.
And that's when I wrote the song.
Thank you, Eric.
When I wrote the film, The Lion King. A lot of people don't know that. I was actually the screenwriter of The Lion King.
Really?
Created the story and came up with it. And originally it was about...
Was Timon originally in Pumbaa's ass?
That was correct. It was, I imagined an ancient African golem who tricks a young lion cub into living in his ass.
Wow.
And the lion cub grows to full size inside of his ass. And it's very similar to the story of, I believe it was Hercules carrying an oxen
Right.
around his house or something.
Yeah, I believe so.
And he had a blue oxen, and as it grew older, that's how he became John Revere.
Right.
If you remember the Roman story of John Henry versus the Machine.
Right.
So we said,
Fable.
what if we did a version of that set in Africa?
There we go.
And that's where the Lion King came from. And at the time, I was really thinking a lot more about that robot. It's sort of a lifelong obsession.
Yeah.
And that derailed the story, and my interview to write The Lion King never went past that first interview.
You've interviewed for a lot of interesting showbiz jobs.
But they kept the name.
Being
One
in
of
Tool.
the greatest tragedies of my life was being declined for the position of head screenwriter of The Lion King. And they stole my idea.
Yeah, well, it seems like it was a different idea.
No.
I went
similar.
in 1983. I went to Disney and I said, "Let's do a children's movie set in Africa about a giant robot with a man that lives in his ass." And
Right.
Called The Lion King?
it was called Terminator 2.
Oh.
And I can't prove it, obviously. But what happens? 10 years later,
Right.
They make Terminator 1.
Disney releases a movie set in Africa for children.
That's right.
And that
So
doesn't...
wait, I'm sorry. Had Terminator 1 come out?
No,
I'm sorry,
he
but you don't
pitched
need to be-
Terminator 2, and then they had to make a Terminator 1 to steal his idea for Terminator 2.
You don't need to be a giant crime-solving robot to figure out
Right, what happened with
what
a man in
happened
his ass?
with a man in his ass. Figure that out.
Who's pulling levers to control him?
It's not necessary. You can see clear as day what happened there. They were so
It
intimidated
was
by
dastardly.
Yes.
Downright fucked up, Eric.
Yes.
Well, thanks for joining us for the first part of the Cumtown. We're trying to have more mainstream guests.
We're trying to become
That's
more
our
like
interview
Rogan.
with Eric Clapton, everyone.
Yeah, thanks
Do you have any
joining
questions for me? I mean,
Yeah. So when you were in Cream,
Yeah, we're Derek and the Dominoes, of course. So many great projects.
yes,
how
thank
about
you.
this? Why did you do this?
Do you have any, maybe perhaps either one of you, I'm not familiar with either of you.
Yeah, sure.
Intimately, but if either one of you want to use this joke setup to demonstrate your knowledge of Eric Clapton's
Thank you.
actual
Thank you, I appreciate that.
portfolio.
I just did that kind
If
of.
there's any,
Well, I was going to ask you.
if that would be very, funny to you.
Right. I
It
was
would be-
actually
I
going to
think
say,
there's
was
probably
the
some
band
people
Cream named after when you would come, like coming out of your cock?
Oh no,
When
I've
the
never
ma-
thought about that actually.
Really?
Yeah.
No, we were sitting around trying to come up with a name for a band.
Of
and we
course.
were at Denny's.
Yeah.
It was,
Your daddy's in.
Oh, for your coffee.
in England,
in London.
The first one. There's a lot of people don't know that the first Denny's was in London.
Really?
Yeah.
And I was having the moons over my hammy,
Of course.
and the other members of Cream, Paul McCartney,
Right.
and Elton John.
Elton John, that's right.
Yeah.
They were sitting at Denny's
And I,
in
if I
Piccadilly
recall-
Circus, right?
if I-
The Denny's at Piccadilly Circus.
If I remember correctly, Paul McCartney was having Southwestern crazy cowboy tortilla soup, and Elton John was eating a bowl of cum.
Did he bring it himself?
That's a twist.
He brought his own. He brought his own. Yes, he did. He would bring a bowl of cum everywhere, and he would lick at it like a kitten.
This is even when he was pretending to be straight.
This was when he was pretending to be a kitten.
Oh,
Yeah, there was a period, people forget, he went straight, then cat, then gay.
It was kind of a...
It was really, you know, I almost blame that Cats phase
For making
because he
full
became
gay.
obsessed, absolutely obsessed with Mr. Mistopheles.
Right, who is cool. I don't know if he listened to us, but I thought he was pretty cool.
Yeah, we
from
talked
Cats.
about him on our show.
You know,
before.
Do you like Mr. Mistopheles, Eric?
In 1983, I went,
this is
No,
your
I went to
idea.
Broadway.
Let's hear it.
I went to Broadway and I said,
Okay.
I've got an idea for a musical.
right.
And it's about a man who is
A giant.
Okay. They're pushing me out of the office.
Where is it set?
And it's this one's set in New York City.
Wow.
And it's Christmas time.
Mm.
And the man, he's become lost because he got on the wrong plane when his family's going on vacation. And the only way he can get back to Chicago and avoid the two robbers that are after him is if a man lives in his ass and
It
controls
directs him there.
And he needs...
This is a grown man.
it's
He's a grown man who's separated from his family.
Named Kevin
Yes,
McAllister.
he's a grown man named Kevin McAllister.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, 3 years later, Cats, the musical.
Wow.
Wow, this is the same plot.
So you're pissed about that. Have you ever heard of the movie Home Alone, Eric?
Home Alone 2, I believe.
Home Alone 2?
Yeah,
I have.
Lost
I've
in
seen
New
it.
York.
I think that's just a coincidence.
I think that's
I
more
think
similar.
it's parallel thinking.
That's parallel thinking.
parallel
But The
thinking.
Lion King about a man, a crime-fighting
I think
robot.
that's a simple case of parallel thinking. It's really all right.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
So we're at Denny's.
You're right. And Elton, who's obsessed at this time with Mr. Mephistopheles.
Mr. Mistopheles.
And he's lapping up cum.
Who even by your own estimation, you thought up of in 1983.
Yes.
So this is the 60s. So Elton is obsessed with a different guy named Mr. Mistopheles.
I had told him the
You
idea.
told him in broad strokes the idea.
I told him my idea for Home Alone 2. And he said, I want to hear more about this Mr. Mistopheles.
So just to be clear, in your idea for Cats,
For Home Alone 2.
No.
My idea for a movie about the man who's a robot who's lost from his family. He's
called Cats,
being pursued. Well, no, it's
called Home Alone 2.
No, it's called A Scanner Darkly. He's pursued by two robbers. One magical Mr. Mistopheles.
Is he a cat?
He's a large cat.
Okay.
And the other one, his name is Dr. Manhattan. And he's blue and you can see his penis.
Oh, that's scary.
So Eric Clapton's Scanner Darkly. He's the plot of Kevin Home
There's
Alone.
this guy
Interesting.
named Kevin McAllister.
Interesting. So he had
Wow.
loved this guy so much that he started
He
lapping
started-
up cum at Denny's.
He would bring his own bowl of cum everywhere to eat like a kitten because it's actually
Just head
illegal.
first.
It's illegal to transport milk across state lines
Mhm.
Are there states in London, in England?
in the English
The
states.
English
Yeah.
states,
The United
yes.
States of England.
They have 50.
Yeah.
This is what it was called at the time.
I didn't
Yeah.
know
A
that.
lot of people don't know that the Brit invasion was actually a cultural exchange program.
Uh-huh.
So y'all, as you would say,
Right,
got
thank you.
rock and roll from us.
Mm-hmm.
And in exchange, we got Denny's and States.
I thought you said the first Denny's was from England.
But it was based on IHOP.
I see.
It was an American theme.
Wow, I had no idea.
Diner. Yeah, they did not have diners in
Interesting.
London. Everyone would just eat. Come. There was a
Right.
bowl
Oh,
of-
wow.
Yeah, it was the first. So Elton was.
So Elton must have been pissed that everything got so Americanized that they stopped selling cum at restaurants.
That's why he'd have to bring.
No, but I thought he brought, yeah.
Well, yeah.
He'd have to bring
Yeah.
his own cum.
Right. And
So we thought it would be a funny prank to replace his cum with cream.
Mm.
With heavy
Did that
cream
piss him
while he was
off?
in the bathroom. He's highly allergic.
Oh,
And so he died.
that's funny.
What?
And he was replaced And Elton John, the new guy now.
So that's a different. So this
I have
Elton
no idea
John
who that guy is.
is another
It's a completely
coincidence.
different guy. The first Elton John was black.
So you had a gay friend named Elton John.
He's a black man.
It was black. It was from Africa. He said he's from Africa.
He was a Nigerian. And he would wear sandals everywhere.
Was he
dressed
good
up
at
like-
music?
No, he was terrible.
But he was still in cream
Well, I
with you
met
and
him when
Paul.
I was scouting locations for my idea for a film about a giant man who has a friend who lives in his house. And I went down to Nigeria to see because it came to me in a dream.
Right.
And I had the dream right after eating a bunch of bananas. And
Sure.
I at the time had been reading a lot of Jungian psychology, and he talked extensively about how your dreams are actually come from the country where
With the fruit. The fruit that you eat before going to sleep. And because you had bananas, you thought you should go to Nigeria.
Which is the word where they're from.
That's exactly right.
That's where they're from.
I don't know if that's exactly right, though.
That's exactly right.
I mean, I believe that that's your thought process, Eric, but I don't think that's correct. There's multiple things wrong with that statement.
And so that's where you met Sir Elton John.
And I met
The
Elton John.
first one.
He picked me up at the airport. He was my cab driver. And I said, I want you to come back to England, and I'm going to teach you how to make music.
Yeah.
So, okay, let me ask you this. Have you ever what's the closest you've gotten to having a man in your ass pulling levers?
Yeah. Have you ever lived your truth?
Have you tried it?
I'm here now. I stopped by here
Why?
in New York to do just a couple of podcasts, and I'm trying to work my way up to Joe Rogan. Because I want Joe Rogan to introduce me to Elon Musk.
Oh.
And I'm going to proposition him, basically,
Oh, okay.
and say, if you present me, Eric Clapton, with the proper funding and research, obviously, that his companies are capable of to create or turn me either into a giant robot man or possibly shrink another human. You would obviously need two different research teams to look into it.
Right.
Correct.
If we can go down either path that results in us accomplishing this goal, our goal, in my lifetime, I'll suck his cock.
That's what you have to offer?
That's it.
And
that's the
I
plan.
spent all my money trying to do it myself,
Right.
and I believe you guys would call it fucked up.
Right, yeah.
I don't particularly like using curse words, but in this instance, it's warranted.
Sure.
I don't cuss.
You don't cuss.
I don't cuss.
You made that very clear in the
That was a
pre-interview
quote of
process.
I don't think that an artist should ever use swear words. That's why I think, this Donald Trump guy is just a bad news.
Oh, wow.
It's because
Interesting.
he's
He doesn't really cuss that much.
well, there's a lot of reasons. Not like my reason is that he uses cuss words.
Right,
Oh, okay.
right.
No?
So you're going to do Cumtown, and then what other
I'm
pods do you
trying
have
to work
lined
my
up?
way up to Joe Rogan.
Are you
but
doing the guys we fucked?
I blew all my money because I got a Home Depot credit card,
Oh crap!
and they have beef jerky there.
Right.
Oh, you didn't even buy stuff
I
to
didn't
build
even
a
think
robot.
about it. No, I started. I spent maybe $7,000 on PVC piping.
Okay,
And,
it's a good start.
and a lot of switches. I thought about they have very luxury switches.
Like
Yeah.
electrical switches?
Well, my whole house is filled with bicentennial commemorative light switch plates.
Right.
Because I had a period where I was obsessed with the Revolutionary War after seeing the movie Wild Wild West, which I had mistakenly identified as a revolutionary.
That's the symbol.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we don't have-
It's tough it gets confused.
We've never had a war in England, so we
The
don't.
British. Yeah.
So we don't even know. Most people in England have never even heard of the Revolutionary War.
Yeah.
What about World War II?
No, I don't think so.
You've never heard of it?
I don't.
You personally, have you ever
I
heard of
haven't.
World War II?
But I saw Wild Wild West, and I said, this spider, eerily close to my idea of a giant. man.
Oh,
fuck.
that's
Had you ever
right.
pitched that?
I can't say I did have sex with Kevin Kline one time. but I can't say that. I mean, it's possible he maybe read one of my notes about my idea for a giant man.
You think Kevin Kline looked at your diary?
But that's fair for you to say it might be parallel thinking.
It might
as
be
well.
parallel thinking. The
Yeah.
giant
You're very gracious, Eric.
That's very
Thank you
gracious.
for all your time.
Well, I'm one of the greatest.
Guitarists.
That's exactly what I am.
Yep.
That's exactly.
And did you
and thinkers.
Yes, I can't even. Often I forget
what you
just
play?
exactly who I am.
Right. Well, you're Eric Clapton.
Yes.
And we thank you for being on.
Well, I was obsessed with the Revolutionary War, so I replaced all the light switch covers in my house.
Right.
With bicentennial commemorative plates.
Yeah, which will be worth something.
And I've thrown out all of my regular light switch covers.
Uh-huh.
And of course, half of them ended up inside my ass. And
so you were just...
So you have the switches there.
You have the switches and the pulleys and the
ready to go.
levers.
Well, when I went to Home Depot, they have the nicer ones now. So I went dimmer switches in my whole house.
Your ass.
Oh, yeah.
But then they
Your
got
ass or your house?
in my house.
Have you considered maybe a clapper?
But they got stuck at 10%, and it's damaged my vision because it's dark. It's like living in a cabin.
Right.
Which I am training myself now because I'm in a low light situation, which I imagine if it can't be me that's the robot, perhaps I could live in someone else's ass.
You want to be the guy in someone's ass.
And so I'm training my eyes now just in case when I eventually...
To live in an ass.
When I meet Elon and we get further into the project, maybe, we're talking 20 years, I'll probably be... Let's see now, I've got to be... Me, Eric Clapton, I've got to be somewhere in between the ages of 50 and 90 years old.
Yeah.
I'm going to say
About-
75.
Yeah, that sounds
That
about
sounds correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was famous in
The
in
60s.
60s and 70s?
Yeah.
that sounds also correct.
And well into the 90s even.
Right, so
Yeah, you
I've
had a
got to
long
be
career.
pretty fucking old. So
Right.
I meet Elon, and then we're maybe a 20-year roadmap before we're talking about a situation where it's feasible to have one man live in another man's ass. And
Certainly.
at
To
that
live in a
point,
man's ass.
my body might not be able to handle the big and mechanization surgery.
Right, but you'll be smaller and maybe fit more easily into a man's ass.
So I might have to be the one that lives in the ass, in which case
And you're fine with that.
the only prerequisite is that my eyes are adjusted to a low light situation. So in a sort of roundabout way it worked out that I had that big mess up with the bicentennial plates after getting so excited about the giant spider.
Yeah,
Right.
that's a screw up right there.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm saying it ended
It ended up being fortuitous.
Yeah.
And you know what? You actually are 30 years old. Or 75 years old. You were born on March 30th.
March 30th, great day.
Classic day.
Classic birthday.
Did you know you're the only three-time inductee to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
I did know that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I did know that. I also I came up with the idea for the hot dog eating contest in Coney Island.
Oh, on 4th of July.
Yeah. Well,
Wow.
I was down there and I went into Nathan's
come?
Hot Dogs and I had one of the hot dogs and I said, "This was great. I'd like to meet the owner, I'm Eric Clapton." Because you go places. We brought it over. You go to diners in the United States, and I was one of the first people to give them my headshot and put it on.
Oh, wow.
You came up with that.
And yeah, you can
Wow.
go. You can actually go to the original IHOP in Columbus, Ohio, and on there on the wall is the very first headshot, and it's a picture of me, 15 years old.
15.
When my first album came out, and it says on there, "The food was so good, I wish I could jam it up my ass and let
Whoa.
it." I feel like the food is in my ass controlling me.
And then that was kind of
Thanks.
the precursor.
Thanks for everything. Thanks for dinner. Thanks for the dinner you made for me. And they said, "What do we do with this?" And I said, "Put it on the
Put
wall."
it up on the fucking wall. What do you mean? What do you do with
In
it?
15 years, the Italians will be doing this. I'm telling you, I know. The Italians, they copy everything. Ferrari, that was my idea.
Uh-huh.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I said, what if a car went so fast?
that it was gay.
that you could charge $1 billion for it.
That's awesome.
Your idea.
Now let me ask you.
I came up with that.
Really, you to do a car that was really fast?
Yes, I said that to Elton John, the original, of course.
Of
For the
course.
black one.
Now let me ask you: have you ever sucked a man's cock?
Of course. I'm British. That's a part of that's how you graduate
That's 8th
from
grade.
middle
yeah.
school to high school is the cocksucking test.
Have you ever seen Keith Richards' penis?
Probably.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Probably.
Man.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That
This
sounds
to the
awesome.
same degree, I'm probably 75 years old.
Yeah,
So-
absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Eric. Unless you have anything else you wanted to talk about, we could get our co-host Nick in here.
Oh, there's another person.
There's another guy.
No, I don't know. I kind of like it.
You like the vibe? You like the vibe,
yeah.
Eric?
This guy Eric's pretty chill.
Eric, don't say this guy, Eric. Sir
I mean,
Eric.
Sir Eric is pretty chill.
He's our fucking guest.
I do have one bone to pick. with
Please.
What
you
is
guys.
it? Let's hear it.
I mean, and other people have mentioned it to me. That's the only reason I know about the show.
Sure.
It seems that this premise was stolen entirely from me.
Oh no, really?
The premise of the show.
Of this
Cumtown?
Cumtown?
Of the I mean, I don't.
You don't want to say that word.
I don't want to. But in
You don't cuss.
in 1997, I heard Car Talk, and I approached NPR and I said I want to do a show.
Right.
But this time it's 3 people instead of 2.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of talking about cars, one of them is huge.
Okay.
He's a robot. The other one lives in his ass. And the third person steals jokes.
Interesting. Well, the thing is,
The third person is Jewish.
he's Jewish and he steals jokes. Okay. Well, we're really sorry, man. We didn't even know.
It sounds like a good show.
Yeah.
And it's called the Legion of Scams.
That's true. Dave is
Well,
Jewish.
we don't really have a guy in anybody's ass. Now, you nailed us on that other element, though. But
I brought this idea to everybody, and then no one can.
Everyone
no
passed?
one will have it done, and that's why I say to this day, if I could change the world, the one thing that I would do is shrink someone down.
that's right. That's how this started, because we were singing that song.
It's about what I would do if I could change the world.
Well, do you want to play us off with one final rendition of that song?
Oh no, I'm good. thanks.
Okay, all right. Well, thanks, Eric.
Okay, I'll be in the men's bathroom
Okay.
at Ruth's Chris.
Nice.
If anyone wants to take a look at some blueprints in one of the stalls.
Oh, that's your office, kind of.
Yes,
Like
I've
Fonzie.
I've set up shop in the bathroom of the Dunkin' Donuts on Fulton and Nostrum.
I thought you said Ruth Chris.
Well, I'll be there tonight. So
Oh.
the after party.
It's a party for working on getting.
For the podcast.
I rented out the bathroom at Ruth's Chris from
That's
the
awesome.
Tuesdays with Stories podcast.
Oh, you're doing Tuesdays too.
I did Tuesdays, and Joe List, he said to me that I could use his office.
He's a good guy.
Yes, he said I could borrow the master bedroom. The executive suite.
So you know Joe List.
Yeah.
I met Joe List, in
That's
fact.
awesome.
They're friends. They have a mutual friend, Dominic Strauss-Kahn, actually.
When I met Joseph and his friend Mark, I said, you guys work so well together. Have you ever considered that maybe Mark could live inside their ass and
Right.
control you?
Right.
And they said, yes, we've heard your idea, man.
Thanks, Eric. Yep.
Eric, we can you please leave? And then they stole the idea for the podcast for me.
That's so fucked up. Well, thank you, Eric, and I guess you can keep staying here if you like.
No, I think that's good. I think maybe half the episode is enough time to hear me.
That's.
Eric Clapton.
Thank you, Eric Clapton.
Thank you, Eric.
Or as I like to call him, Eric Clap Dem Ass Cheek.
Clapped him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how about this? You ever think about this? 102 Dalmatians.
That's awesome. That's fucking awesome, dude.
Can you imagine?
Yup.
That way they can just give all the fucking dogs Cruella once, and they still got a dog for themselves.
Get one dog to hang
Why?
out.
This is the thing. The problem I got with this fucking movie.
Yeah, tell me.
Let's hear it.
Just sell the dogs to Chinese people. You got some French bitch
Right.
trying to steal them
Uh-huh.
to make soup and clothes.
Yeah.
Right.
All right?
She's named after a car.
To
It's
make
pretty weird.
famous clothes.
Mm-hmm.
When you could be charging the zips fucking out the wazoo
Right. Right.
for these dogs.
That's your big problem with 101 Dalmatians.
It's one of my problems.
Right.
All right. Number 2 problem, It's the only movie I've ever seen. The first time I saw it, the idea of 100 dogs was so much from my mind I went into an epileptic fit.
Okay. But then what about one more than 100? That must have sent you...
Well, he's seen it hundreds. You've seen it plenty of times.
I had to
by
watch
now.
it each time to memorize each one of the dogs.
Right.
Uh-huh.
How you doing? My name's Louis Capone. I'm the world's foremost expert on 101 Dalmatians.
Yeah.
I've seen this is Masterclass.
Mm-hmm.
101 Dalmatians YouTube with Louis Capone. I've
I love
the movie.
Louis.
I've seen it. A lot of people think they've seen 101 Dalmatians. You ain't seen shit,
You
pal.
ain't seen it like this.
You've not seen
Italian style.
Italian style movie watching. We're going to show you a lot of things in this class. Number one, how not to act like a bitch when sitting in a chair getting ready to watch a movie.
Right.
Bet you didn't think about that. It's different when it's a cartoon about dogs, pal.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Well, you're going to have to sign up for the master class. That's
You can't
okay.
give away all the secrets.
Use your mom's credit card. Sign up for it now. Look, we're putting this on all the videos for children's shows in the hopes that a mentally disabled adult will accidentally sign up for the master class. This is Being Italian, the master class.
I ain't never seen a fucking movie. But once you sign up, I get the money.
I get the money.
Dude, I'm having a hard time on focusing because of how good the pork smells right
It
now.
smells really good.
I just want to eat pork so bad.
Damn.
It's going to taste so good. It's been roasting now for 7 hours.
Old piano keeps making me think about The Sting.
Oh, yeah. Bada bada.
Yeah. Are you going to play some riverboat style tunes for us?
Oh, and I sucked my own dick and I fucked in my ass.
Wow. It's like I'm in Nordstrom's. Wow, I feel like I'm in fat Nordstrom's.
Why is it got to be
Welcome
fat
to Fat Nordstrom's.
Well, that sounds nice,
We have
actually. If they have fat sizes.
Yeah, a man that doesn't know his fingers are too fat to play the piano.
No, it would just be a bigger piano if it's fat Nordstrom's.
Norbertstrom's.
Norbert wasn't fat. His bitch was fat, wasn't
That's
she?
right. Yeah. I confused
sorry.
Norbert and the Clumps.
Sorry, man.
Who's
okay.
Norbert? The Eddie Murphy movie?
Yeah, the late period Eddie Murphy movie where he plays his own fat girlfriend.
Wow.
I love that dude. He's just like, fuck it, dude. Run it the fuck back.
That's a great message for people. Is like be your own damn girlfriend.
That's true.
You don't need
Love
a woman.
yourself. You don't need a fucking bitch to hold you down when you could have a fat suit that you could wear and you could fuck yourself.
Or like even the clumps. You could be your whole family.
Be your own whole damn family.
You don't have to even have a family.
Now, didn't Eddie Murphy fuck Janet Jackson as a fat guy at one point at the end of it or something?
I believe she was the love interest.
That's awesome.
Yeah. She
I'm
also had
glad.
a song on the soundtrack. If
And
I
remember Dave
correctly.
Chappelle?
Remember how much better the world was 20 years ago?
So
you could
nice.
just remake a comedy with like it's the same thing, but it's all black.
The
people.
joke is that
Yeah.
he's fat.
and people are like, "This is great." And
Yeah.
there's not a single conversation.
Oh, no one had to have
You
a
don't
talk
have to
about
have
it.
a conversation.
Yeah.
Because the math of Jerry Lewis sucks dick
He doesn't.
and Eddie
He
Murphy is
sucks.
funnier.
I'm gay.
And we can just make
My
this.
dick's swole.
Yeah, I mean, this whole thing was like he pretended to be a retarded person. Like,
Yeah, and the
I mean,
French
he became
loved
famous off like crossing his eyes.
Yeah.
I mean, you like invest in a whoopee cushion and get on TV back in the days when there were three shows.
And right.
One, the atomic clock and a guy with his in a suit with his hands behind his back telling you you're about to die.
Yes.
Yeah. Two, a show where a guy just reads books to you.
Mm-hmm.
And three, fucking Jerry Lewis and Dean Martin
Yep.
doing quote unquote comedy.
Chinese guys, retards.
Yeah.
All the classics.
Yeah, all the classics.
Well, just, hey, listen. Let's not. Those two things. Let's not frown at those two things. Let's not.
And
turn
they were
our nose
trash.
up.
We arrive at those in a different way.
I'm just saying. But no, I agree with you. Also, I believe I was reading some books a while ago.
The French love him, you know,
Really?
Jerry Lewis.
because he went over there and became like an auteur.
They're obsessed with him.
What?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
think he's like one of the greatest filmmakers.
Can we see that movie where he's like
The
a
day
clown
the
in the
laughter
Holocaust?
dies. I think that it's going to be released soon.
It's in the
That's-
Library of Congress.
The French, as far as European film is concerned, are the worst. They're the worst filmmakers.
I don't agree.
I agree with myself. I agree with my take.
Why? Why don't you agree? What's a good? Hold on. What's a good French movie?
Oh, they've made good movies.
They've made
but I'm
good
saying if
movies.
you have to rank European filmmakers, French come in dead last.
Wow.
What? You think like what? Hungarians make better?
Czechs better, Polish better, Italians better.
Greeks.
I don't know if Russians sort of count. I guess better.
The Russians made a couple pretty good movies.
What?
No, the
What?
Russians are the best filmmakers.
What? What the fuck is a good Russian movie?
Come and See. For one.
Tarkovsky.
You just watched, all of Tarkovsky. But did you see? You watch Come and See on our recommendation?
I don't believe I did.
It's
you should
yeah.
watch
It's you gotta.
Probably the best war movie ever fucking made.
It'll sit with
Okay.
you for like a week.
And you know
Is
they
that good?
They stole the idea from me.
They stole it from Eric Clapton.
Because I had an idea. I said I want everyone to come and see this John Robot. I came up
Right.
with.
This is my ass.
I had drawn him on the back of a cereal box while having breakfast, which I also invented.
You invented breakfast or cereal?
I invented breakfast and cereal.
Okay.
Breakfast cereal was a Eric Clapton original. One of my first concepts.
I love that for you.
It predates actually the idea of the robot.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And you mean when you say it predates?
I said
You had the idea first.
What if you woke up in the morning and a talking bird, like a toucan perhaps,
Right.
took you into the jungle and then showed you colorful circles that you shoved into your mouth?
Right.
This came to me in a dream, and of course, like
That's
I said,
awesome. What were you
consider
eating before?
myself a scholar of Carl Jung, and one of his other ideas was that if you dream of a bird, it means that you actually have a pretty big dick. And for years I thought I had a small dick, but apparently you have to have a big dick to have dreams about a toucan.
A toucan.
Mm-hmm.
And the beak represents your cock.
How big your cock is?
And my cock is huge.
So big. Yeah, that's big.
I didn't
big.
think so. I'm not going to prove it, but
Can we see your cock?
No,
Please.
no. I'll show you a picture I have on my computer.
Okay.
I'll show you. Yes, it's called mycock.psd.
Wait a second. That's a Photoshop file.
It's.
Can we see a JPEG?
No,
Or
it's from my camera.
can you show
No,
it
he
to us
just-
directly from the camera?
No, I'm going to show you. This is the only- As I said, the lighting in my house is very dark because of my.
His eyesight.
Yeah, because of my.
No, because the dimmers are stuck at 10%.
yeah.
Adam, come
Yeah.
on, man. Listen to Eric Clapton when he talks. We have a rock legend here, and you're not even fucking listening?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Sir Eric.
Yes.
Fuck, that pork smells so goddamn good.
They asked me to leave the bathroom. And
Oh, yeah, that's
Joe
why. Is that
List
why you're
asked you?
back?
I said I'm friends with Joe List, and they said we don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And I said he said this was his office,
Does the name Joe List mean nothing anymore?
and they said we've been told that Eric Clapton, you have been banned from New York City on account of you disparaging our windows.
Oh.
Why? Do you blame the windows?
You're making our windows look bad, and I'm
Because of letting your son fall out of one? Is that what you're getting at, Eric? They banned him from New York because his son fell out of a window. Fuck. Wow. Well, you're welcome here, Eric.
That was, yeah.
Yeah, dude. Mayor
the Department of Buildings
Department of Buildings.
has banned you.
Mayor Koch. Ed Koch said he
And I said,
can't.
thank God for 9/11. That really took the heat off of me. But the Department of Buildings, I was considered the bastard. They called me the bastard.
The bastard of buildings. Clapton.
They got a picture of you in the office.
They called me the bastard
The
of buildings.
bastard.
Bastard of buildings. Eric Clapton. His son tragically falls to his death.
Until the beautiful day in September when a couple of Indian men, I believe, really just they put themselves in the rock and roll.
Right.
Yeah.
No, Muhammad Atta's in there.
He's in the Hall of Fame.
He's in the
an
Rock and
Indian
Roll
guy?
Hall of Fame.
From what? Why? Was he a band or a
Well,
solo act?
for doing 9/11.
It was metal. It was
Yeah.
one of the most.
It was metal.
one
That
of the
is true.
biggest moments in metal history.
Yes.
9/11 was metal.
Metal in the flames of the World Trade Center.
That kind of stuff.
Yes, I actually suggested him for.
Oh, you vouched for him.
I vouched for my nomination.
That's how it goes.
Muhammad Atta into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
And everyone was cool with that.
Everyone was. I mean, well, as a member of not only a celebrity but a musician,
Right.
I was. There's a quick competition to have the absolute worst steak possible after 9/11.
Of course. Yeah.
So a lot of people were just going out on stage naked and maybe putting tape over their mouths or shaving their head. And I thought, what if we put Muhammad Atta in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Yep.
And we called Sebastian Bach a terrorist.
That would be funny.
We called Brett Michaels,
Brett Michaels.
Yeah. We called him a terrorist
Because his music sucks.
because his music sucks.
But Muhammad Atta
Muhammad Atta
gets to be in the Hall of Fame.
that's rock and roll.
That's
what it's about.
Awesome.
As well, in the 60s, it's like we always dreamed of smashing a jetliner.
Yeah, dude, the world's biggest financial,
Yes.
center.
And
That's fucking anti-capitalist.
But at the time, that's to even get on an airplane, you had to be Shirley Temple.
Right. Shirley Temple was the only person.
You had to be Marlene Dietrich.
Mm-hmm.
Nice
piece of pussy, that Marlene Dietrich.
Yes. I sucked her off.
You sucked her off.
Yeah. Yes, in the bathroom.
You sure that was Marlene Dietrich?
I think it was a fella who told you his name was Marlene Dietrich.
I sucked Marlene Dietrich's penis. At the bathroom in Porterford, yeah. It was on the way over here.
Oh, you took the bus here?
I took the bus here.
Wait, just now?
Yes.
Marlene Dietrich's been dead for maybe 25 years.
I was in Philadelphia.
You took the bus from Philly to the Port
I was in
Authority?
Philadelphia.
No, that doesn't change the fact that...
As an official poll observer.
Oh, yeah.
To keep an eye on these Black Lives Matter folks. In the 60s, we were all about counterculture. Now it's like...
It's gone too far in your
gone
estimation?
too far. Donald Trump, I don't care much for his cursing, but
Right.
everything else...
His ideas are behind.
His ideas are intoxicating. They fill me with a sense that, it's just that I'm part of something bigger than
Something
myself.
bigger than yourself, sure.
That I'm ready to dissolve the individual into the whole, very much the way you would put a tiny man inside.
Yes. Oh, of course. Oh, how could I forget?
And that ideas are very appealing to you. Those themes.
Yes. A lot of people call it fascism, and I just say it's just plain old good time imagining yourself as a robot with a bunch of men in your ass.
Oh, you want more than one man? I thought it was your friend.
I imagine an entire bridge like on Star Trek.
Nice.
My good friend Gene Roddenberry.
You're friends with Gene Roddenberry. You get pussy with Gene?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
I remember
Man.
Gene invited me to Texas, which was a part of Africa at the time. It had not won its independence.
I don't
yet,
believe that's true.
I think before America.
I don't mean to be insulting, but I am a scholar of Carl Jung. I don't
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think I would misremember where Texas is.
You got me there, sir.
Africa is big. Texas is big. Ipso quoto.
Mm-hmm. So you and Gene Roddenberry.
Ipso quoto geotaco. They are the neighbors.
Makes sense, and I'm sorry, and I take it back.
This is a very interesting thing I read recently, is that when waiters at a restaurant, the wait staff says that we have a couple of neighbors at table 7.
Okay. We don't need
I
to
think
talk
that's
about that.
Well,
I
they
think
always
that
used
was
to say
actually from the Cumtown podcast.
when we would go to, me and Elton would go to lunch, the waiter would always say, "Oh, you're having lunch with your neighbor." And I said,
Right.
why would they assume that I'm...
Were you neighbors?
No, he lived in Nigeria. I found him in a banana restaurant in Nigeria.
A banana.
I dreamt of a banana restaurant.
I don't think.
And I said I
don't
called
believe
up
that
Carl
exists.
Young and I said I have to.
Oh,
go.
so Carl Young's a guy you know?
Yes, we're also friends. Another fellow I met in the Port Authority bathroom.
So you met two people in a Port Authority bathroom
Marlene
that
Dietrich,
claimed to be Carl Young.
I sucked
and
off Marlene Dietrich while Carl Young fucked me in the ass.
And ever since then, you've been a devotee of his ideas.
That's exactly right.
That's very, very crazy, Eric.
Wow. They don't call me the bastard of building.
They don't. I did not know this much about you. This has been an illuminating episode.
Wow.
Eric motherfucking Clapton. Bada 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 boom, 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 boom.
Layla,
So,
got me on my knees, Marlene.
fuck me, Carl, please.
Yeah. Carl Young, banana. Got me on my knees, Carl Young.
Fuck me, Carl Young, please.
Darling, please make me banana. A big robot who is controlled by a man that lives inside his ass.
Let's see how his wife is hot. Damn, his wife is much younger than his ass.
Oh, is she?
This bitch looking like his daughter.
You know, I never
Let me
really,
see.
I never really pay attention.
Amelia McHenry is an American philanthropist.
Oh, a philanthropist.
She must be rich. Suck me, baby, please. I'm gay. Give me this
Wow.
motherfucker. You got your own fucking phone.
Whenever a lady is a philanthropist, it's just like
She's rich.
having money is their job.
Yeah.
They have so
She
much of it.
chooses
They have
which poor person
they have
give
to
it to.
give it away as a
Yeah.
full-time job.
What does Eric Clapton even sound
The couple met in
I
1999.
think pretty close to how you
The
sounded.
couple met in 99 when Eric, who was 53, attended a party that Amelia, 22 at the time, had planned for her bosses at Armani. She got to talking to Eric after asking him for an autograph to give to her uncle. Something instantly clicked.
That sounds nice.
Respect,
And they're still together?
I guess.
So who are we to judge?
It's sort of history
That does sound...
from a very,
It
very
sounds like you, Nick.
layman's point of view. And I would have been so nervous about playing with other people of that stature. I don't think it would have mattered to me where we
Oh,
were.
wow, she chased the
If anything,
bag,
I was
bro.
probably completely overawed. Obviously, I can't remember.
Dude, this bitch was born in Ohio. Her dad was a construction worker, and her mom didn't have a job. She sucked her way to the top. She got to be a philanthropist from Eric. Salute to Amelia, dude.
Yeah,
She's-
and he's probably got another 5 years.
Amelia
Can I have some of
McHenry.
that water?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Good. Salute to her, dude.
She's cute.
A few months later,
I like redheads.
Clapton proposed to McHenry at their family home in Columbus, Ohio. Eric Clapton.
in front of her construction worker.
Eric
father.
Clapton was getting pussy from Columbus, dude. Salute. They then got married in 2002 on New Year's Day in a private ceremony at St. Mary Magdalene Church.
Damn, I'm fucking dehydrated.
3
I've
daughters.
been drinking no water.
Yeah, and we haven't. We got to drink more water.
My eyes.
that case of Topo Chico.
My eyes are fucking burning. I can't drink fucking like seltzer water all day,
No,
man.
that's why I
Yeah.
wanted to find a case of actual water.
Did you get a case of Essentia?
No, I just only got 4.
Damn, I need more Essentia.
Yeah, I know.
Hey,
I wish
have
the
something
fucking
very
we
essential.
just
for you.
refill that with tap water overnight.
It'll be fine.
I hate drinking tap water, temperature tap water. You know what I mean?
I know exactly.
I gotta
what you
trick
mean.
myself. I gotta throw that bitch in the fridge.
Yes, sir.
Pretend I got it from the store.
Yes, sir. Damn.
Yeah.
Shouts out to Eric, dude. That's the dream. 2253.
I actually got pussy from Columbus, Ohio. We actually met at the original IHOP.
That's right. You did say you were in Columbus. That's where you put your fucking headshot at.
My wife came up to me.
But you were 15,
How did you
you
do
said.
that, Nick?
Huh?
How did you know?
Black
said
magic.
You put it,
Satanic black
Well,
magic.
if you ever read Jung, you would understand.
Yeah.
There's a collective unconscious that we all tap into. So
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
really ever have to read anything. I just sort of go into a fugue and I tap into universal truths.
yeah,
so true.
that's great, man.
Damn, shouts out to her, dude.
Where I can never really be Eric Clapton, but I can turn into a nightmare version of him.
I thought you were the real Eric Clapton.
No,
No, he's not. It's Nick doing a voice.
it's me doing a voice.
God damn it!
Damn. 53rd floors.
The kid fell 53 floors.
Yeah.
Brutal. I feel bad about doing that joke, but it was worth it to get to the bastard building.
No, it was
Bastard
funny.
buildings.
The bastard of buildings was worth it.
It's pretty fucked up that they fit. That's how the New York Building Authority or whatever the fuck thinks
Yes.
of you.
I mean, brutal. Can you imagine going through something like that?
Yeah.
Just because it's like, I mean, losing a child is one thing, but like just
Straight.
a bizarre,
Yeah.
the way like a child dies in like a Popeye cartoon.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
literally.
imagine if your fucking son had like a piano fall on their head.
Yeah. Literally.
An anvil.
Just such cosmic bad luck.
And I never played the piano again after that.
Wow.
It was guitar only.
Shit.
I was actually, my first half of my career, I was a piano player.
Really?
And then an anvil fell on me. And I said, that's it, no more blacksmithing.
No more of that.
I'm not making any more
not
swords.
making any more swords or axes.
You're gonna stop forging.
or arrowheads.
Instead, bastard anvil is taking another child from me. It's quite. I mean, I don't talk about it often, but I had another son
Really?
where a coyote
He
actually
died.
painted a tunnel on him.
And he ran into the wall. Oh no!
Don't you mean a roadrunner?
Yeah, the
so-
bird painted the tunnel.
No, the coyote.
No, it was a
painted-
coyote.
Oh, he learned that from the bird.
Yes.
Oh, you're right. You're right. I stand corrected, and I apologize.
I actually put firecrackers on a pair of roller skates.
Didn't you? You had another son. You had another son who he had sex with a beautiful lady, and then he found out that it was a rabbit,
It was actually
Wearing drag.
Yes, a rabbit.
and then he
that-
kills himself.
He kills himself.
Yeah.
It was a
fucked a gay
male
bunny.
It was a male bunny rabbit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would eat carrots and mock him afterwards.
That's fucking crazy, dude.
Yes.
Wow. This has been. I love that it's December 13th today.
It's great.
And-
Christmas is only 12 days away.
And
Christmas is 12 days away.
And then
folks.
today, some nice celebrity birthdays. Jamie Foxx,
Hope you guys got some good Black Friday deals and
Herman Cain,
all that medicine you probably need.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Buscemi.
Hey, folks, I'm a voice I've definitely heard before that I can't place. I don't know who this is supposed to be.
It sounds like a
But
guy.
it sounds like him.
It sounds like a guy. Sounds like a guy you've heard of before.
It sounds like a trustworthy voiceover for
Sounds like a-
seniors commercials.
Do you need medicine? Of course you do. You're old as shit. Well, check out randommedicine.com.
That's right.
We lost the bottles for all of these pills, and you don't have health insurance. You might as well try this shit out.
Why not?
Maybe
Go
it'll
ahead,
work.
just try it out. We got pills.
$5. You get
$5 a month. You get a grab bag full of pills. It's brought to you by Bespoke,
yeah. The Pillsman.
the pills me from Lance. What's a good name for them? Lance Buckner.
Lance Monaco.
Lance Buckner is a premium men's random pill
That sounds
subscription pack. Every month you get a bunch of pills in a cool, vintage tincture style.
right.
It comes with a mustache comb and a razor blade to slit your wrist. The second you realize that somehow this bullshit worked on you. That you're paying $50 a month for a new wallet that was manufactured in Taiwan. A jigger and a wooden comb. What the fuck are you going to do with this? A wooden comb, a shitty pocket knife.
Comb your hair like your grandfather.
comb your hair the way your grandfather didn't.
Damn. A lot of stuff happened on this day.
A striped
the
onesie.
massacre of the Kalavrita,
What's that?
where the fucking piece of shit Nazis killed
Whoa, easy.
near extermination of the male population and the total destruction of the town of the Kalavrita, Greece, by the 117th Jaeger Division.
Seems like
So
we have a.
fuck them.
Seems like we got a lot in
Jaeger.
common enemies.
We do, bro.
Yeah.
We do, and I hope every Nazi dies.
Die, Nazi fucks. This is a leftist. You're listening to the
this is a
lefts.
pro-Greek podcast.
You're listening to the number one left podcast.
This is a golden dawn.
No, it's
stuff.
not a golden dawn. It's a Greek, It's a Greek pro. Fuck the Nazis podcast, and politics comes second, and comedy comes third.
Comedy comes last.
Comedy comes last.
We're doing comedy last.
Mm-hmm.
Now the show is simply a way for me to completely dissolve myself into...
Oh, Eric, welcome.
Yes. Next week, join us. I will be Vincent Price.
Okay.
Okay. A lot of people pride themselves on being a guy that can do a Vincent Price.
Apparently, the
like their
Council of
only
Trent
one.
happened this day on
Ooh.
1545. There's
Love
some
that.
bullshit about the church.
Council of Trent, what is it? The Diet of Worms.
Mm-hmm.
That's the other one.
That's right. An annual solar... Oh, something funny happened, I think. Oh, no, on Wednesday, I forgot to mention. Australia made it legal to be gay.
On Wednesday,
Wednesday's episode, the 9th.
the 9th of
December.
Because
December.
you know that's going to happen?
No, it did happen like a couple years ago.
Is it
Oh.
illegal to be gay in Australia?
It
now?
was until... Or you couldn't get married, I guess.
He's saying historically.
Historically.
December the 9th was the date that, man, now the whole house smells like pork rinds.
It's going to be awesome.
And
smells
I'm
so
telling you.
good.
We're
I
so
love it.
close to eating this
I
pork.
don't know,
all
if,
gonna
I don't know if
have-
I'm dehydrated or just happy.
We're
Yeah.
gonna have dinner. We're gonna put on Battlefield Earth.
Yep.
And
We're going to smoke some
like
loud.
fall asleep on the couch, side by side,
Mm-hmm.
just with smiles on our
Yeah.
faces.
I cannot wait to eat this fucking pork.
We're actually
I'm-
probably going to do another 2 episodes tonight.
All right, I'm down.
If we get the pork going. I'm in the zone, baby.
Pork will power us through.
Oh, yeah. The pork and the weed. We should get high as shit.
Yeah, some
Just barely be speaking. Yeah, I'm fucking... I guess I'm Eric Clapton.
yeah. Stavros said something gay earlier.
My name's Simon Says.
That was a who's in that movie?
We're going to play Simon Says right now. Ready?
Yeah.
Red, blue, red, yellow, blue, red, yellow, purple, blue, red, yellow, go. Adam, your turn.
You didn't say Simon Says.
No, I'm doing the colors. I'm doing the digital game Simon Says.
No, you got to say Simon Says jump.
I agree
Simon
with Adam
says
here.
That is a different game.
I've never
That's
heard of the game
Simon
you're playing.
Says-
Oh, you guys are assholes.
I've only
Simon
played
says
the
raise your
regular...
left hand.
Yeah.
Simon is a fucking...
Simon Says was a Dennis Rodman movie.
Shut the fuck
I don't
up.
fucking know. I want pork.
Shut up.
I'm 3 minutes and 30 seconds
Yeah.
away, or 2 minutes and
There
30
we go.
seconds away from
Simon.
eating
I gotta
pork.
get the asparagus ready.
Simon,
start the
this
broiler.
game, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Simon.
Yeah.
But that's not Simon Says.
Yeah, it's misspoke. You fucking assocle. Maybe read
Listen, I
between
don't
the
wanna
lines.
make you feel bad about it.
Read between the lines.
Maybe
for
read
sure.
between the lines. I got here. You know what? I got 8 lines for. Wait. I got 6 lines for you right here.
What is it?
1, 2, 3,
Oh.
4.
That's 8 lines, you idiot.
No, it's not, dude.
It's 6.
1,
It's 6.
2,
It's 6. It's 6.
3, 4, 5, 6.
Yep.
I should have known that was 6.
That was,
Yeah.
yeah. Are
Six.
you embarrassed?
The 6th greatest
Why don't you read
lines.
between those lines?
What, it's just the middle of a swastika?
No, in between the swastika.
says you're gay.
I wrote "fuck you" in the middle of each one of those windows. I wrote "fuck you, you piece of shit," for telling me that that's not what the game is called.
Yep.
Oh damn! I sat with my legs crossed too long, and now I got pins and needles.
Oh.
Need to massage them shits. You know what? I want a Theragun. Those
It's not worth it, dude. I got the. You can just.
They look cool.
There's for $10 you can get like just. I don't know what are the Jigsaw blades either come with like U shank or T shank attachments, but
Those are probably too heavy.
no, it's the same fucking thing.
Really?
I mean, I have a variable speed. I have a nice jigsaw, so I mean you can adjust it however you want.
Interesting.
And it like
God
on your
damn, that
legs,
fucking pork.
on your legs it's fine, but on your back, like I did that shit, and it like the vibrations kind of like. You know when you're a kid and someone will like, you like talk and somebody goes like,
Yeah.
You know that kind of makes you like nauseous a little bit.
I guess.
Hearing that?
No, just like the vibrations. In
Oh
your
yeah,
lungs.
it does make you nauseous.
Yeah, it's like it's not.
Fuck, I want that fucking pork.
But I'm telling you, that fucking sew spine thing that I got is like.
Is that just that plastic thing you put
Just
on
a
the
piece
floor?
of fucking plastic. You
Yeah.
can probably make it yourself. I said that before. Just
Yeah.
because they're not a sponsor. And I emailed them and asked them if they wanted to be. And they stole my idea for the sew
Whoa.
spine. I said, what if you had a piece of plastic that you could shove so far up your ass that
Fix your posture.
that it controlled you?
Oh,
yeah.
So this really wasn't the thing about.
It just, the CEO of that company was actually at Pixar.
Mm-hmm.
And it was another idea I had for a children's movie. It's about a bunch of toys that live inside of a boy's ass. It's about what if there was a young boy and at night his toys came alive and went inside his ass.
That's what
yeah.
they did.
And and they banned me from San Francisco.
Wow, really?
Yes.
For that idea. That's crazy, man.
They called me
dare
the bastard of Pixar.
Bastard of
The bastard of Pixar. You've got a lot of strange epithets, Eric.
Yes, and it all started with that fateful interview with Tool in 1937.
Yes, it did. And who fucking cares? It's time to have pork.
It's time to have pork. Check out
Bye.
Cumtown for shirts.
Stabby.biz for calendars.